Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lili Nishma Simi Mirosi was Mordechai live from Park City, Utah. I'm sitting here with two of my good chaverim from Chicago. I can only say one of theirs. Can I say your name? Shalom Zupnik. He's been a Cohn. He actually was perhaps in the very, very first year I've ever given in Chicago, and that's why I have such Hatzlacha today. It's all because of him. Shalom Zupnik. I went skiing with him years ago, and he's back here in Park City skiing. Yesterday, when I flew in from Esterson, landed in Newark, the Olam got a shul together so that I could give a shiur there live. I ran. We had like a 3-hour stopover, so we had to go through customs. We just made it just in time. Started at 5:30, ended 6:30. Made it back to the plane. Yishkoyach for everybody that helped. They got me this person that meets you and greets you, and they cut the line. It was givaldic. But I said yesterday in Hillside, New Jersey, which happens to be, I didn't chap, but it's my brother-in-law's shul. My brother-in-law davens there. He's on the board, Daniel Fleischer. So I just want to show you. I said like this, that this is what Daf Yomi is. So you have the ups and you have the downs. Yesterday I was in Hillside. They say, let's say 250 people showed up. It was a big matzav. Everybody was full of bread and enthusiasm. I said, I'm about to go to Park City, and it might just be me and the walls here. And in fact, it was a big surprise. I met two of my good chaverim, so they're here now. I don't know what's going to be tomorrow, and I don't know what's going to be Motzei Shabbos. We'll see. But here's a video of Hillside yesterday, the shiur. Take a look. This was about 10 minutes away from Newark. Took 14 minutes to get there, and 10 minutes to Chassidim and Kippas Rugaz and everything in between. It was Gewalt. And here we are in Park City, Utah. It's a Gewalt. What else do we have? Yesterday's food, there was a lot of food. There was pasta and pizza and sushi. So yesterday's shiur in Hillside was sponsored by Yigal Realty from Bet Shemesh, with Mayor Dambi and his buddies, marketing the projects that you see below. Now we're going to jump right into we're going to skip all the emails today. We're going to go right into the sponsors. Let me just read it real quickly. There's a bunch of them. The sponsor for Shmuel Ben Chaim, Ettel, Yosef Chaim, Shmuel Ben Alte Nechama by the Birevach family. I want to remind the Olam that we're starting Makkas in about 7 days. It's the time to get your friends to join Torah. You could get a free Arsenal Gemara, brand new Arihas. You guys know who Arihas is. He worked really, really hard to get the Nekudas into the Arsenal. He's Matzliach. And we're going to be giving out thousands of Gemaras, Be'ez Hashem, all donated. What's this? Oh, good point. I forgot to put my microphone. Over 400 people signed up with Fishel. Fishel is giving $250 for anybody that finishes Masechet Makkas. It's only 23 days. Plus, Shmuel Wasserman is giving Romanian salami. And we are just giving a Gemara. So if you go through us, or if you're part of the shiur and get somebody to join, you will get a Gemara as well. We are signing everybody up on our WhatsApp groups to remind people to stick to it. About 100 days is where you get a habit built. So we want to get these guys. Okay. So continue on with the sponsors. Anonymous for the Hatzlacha Baruch ובגשמיות Cohn in memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim who started learning Daf Yomi at age 70 and continued for 32 years until he was nifter. Anonymous for the unity of the Jewish people. Glenn Esterson with love and gratitude from Wilmington, North Carolina. Thank you for enriching my life with Torah. You know what Wilmington, North Carolina is, Rabbi Isai? Jordan lived there. You should know this. There's a guy, Michal Yarden, that guy. Yeah, no, that he played there. That's different. Monthly sponsors: Zechariah ben Moshe, Zechariah ben Yosef. ActualEyes, Hatzlacha B'Parnasa, Parnasa Birevach for Baruch, Tzvi, Nissim, Ben Shoshana, Leah. Kol sponsors for the month. Thank you to Reb Eli's wife and kids for the great sacrifice they make, allowing him to spread Torah to the masses. Daily sponsors: Mordechai Sapaznik, Lina Schwartz's great grandmother, Sirka Bas, Reb Shlomo Zalman Blumenreich, Aleh Shalom, and Shama having Aliyah, and it should be made the Yosef and entire Mishpach and all Klal Yisrael. Shmuel and Dino Gand, in appreciation of Reb Meir Jacobs, Park City, Utah, wishing you and your family a kosher Pesach. Psst. Yeah, actually, I forgot to say, we're here in Park City. This is the house of Park City Jewish Collective. You could see it right over there. You like this brand new background? We just got it today. Ephraim Levi, Linishmas Gittel Bas Moshe, and Yitzchak Isaac Ben Avram Chaim Doiv Zechron Levrocha, his mother and grandfather, on the 7th of Nissan, Shabbos, and 5th of Nissan, respectively. NY Kids, Innovation Schus for Fischl, Elchanan, Akiva, Rifki, and Mrs. Stefansky, Art of the Month. And then we're done. Refuah Shleima for Yehonatan Eitam Ben Bas Sheva Brocha. He has the machla and he needs a refuah shleima b'karev. He's only 48 or 49 years old. For Schus, for Reb Eli, and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. In honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Yishkoich Mark, who's online right now, remotely doing the shiur. So we're holding about 16 lines from the bottom by Omar Rava. We'll start from there. We're discussing Doyeg and Achitoifel. Doyeg says he's a tremendous Talmud Chacham. He had 300 halachas in Migdal HaPereach Ba'aver. So let me just show you, it's not accurate, but a little bit of an idea. This is a basic faras in Chutz La'aretz. Oh yeah, I got to show you this one. You have a basic faras, and if a guy is suspended in the air, I don't know, everything is shvach here. Why is it not moving? Here we go. There's a guy inside there. He's in a box. And he's protected from the tomb of the basic faras. He says 300 halachas in this. So the Gemara said that between Doeg and Achitoifel, they had 400 kashas on Migdal HaPereach Ba'aver. This is one pshat in Rashi what Migdal HaPereach Ba'aver. They have 400 kashas. And they didn't have even one answer to it. Is that a good thing, a bad thing? There's a famous story with the Rogatchover. He was very, very sad. And the Or Sameach saw him, and he said, "Why are you so sad?" He said, "This Rav used to ask me very, very good kashas. And today he sent me the worst kasha ever. And I'm very depressed. Like, what's going on here?" So the Or Sameach said, "Let me see all those questions." And the Or Sameach tells the Rogatchover, "I have bad news. The Rogatchover never learned Achronim. It wasn't Achronim." She said, all the questions that he asked you are all Reb Kiva Eger's. But this question that he asked you is his own. It's his Eger Kasha. That's why it was so bad. So Kasha is not the... If it's a good Kasha, yeah. But what's up with the 400 Kashas? Omar Rava, Revusa Lemivi Baya. Is it a big deal to ask a bunch of questions? And the Gemara goes on to say Murdiga thing. B'shnei de Rav Yehuda Kuli Tanui ben Ezikin. It reminds me a little bit of today's generation, like the yeshiva guys. In the time of Rav Yehuda, they only learned Nezikin. Baba Kama, Baba Tzia, Baba Basra, that's about it. We even learn, our generation, later generation, we learn much more. We learn Uktzin also. We have a Mati Rav Yehuda, Isha, Shukeveshes Yorak Bigdeira. Okay, it's in the other slides. I forgot to move it over. But, like they have these pickled tomatoes. Let's say the pickled tomato has like a little branch coming out of it. Is the branch part of the tomato when it comes to tuma? If you touch the tomato, does the branch become... Well, if she's pickling it, since the branch falls off easily, so it's not considered part of it. If there's leaves together with the olives, so one is not matama the other. Omar Havayo is the Rav Shmuel Kachazina Hacha. So Rav Yehuda, who's Rav Yehuda? The Talmud of who? Of Rav and Shmuel. And he says, I don't understand the depth over here. Like, why would it be tar? Ich verstehe nicht. I need my Rebbes. I need my Rebbeim. I need Rav and Shmuel to tell me what the Allah, what the svara is over here. In our generation, we have 13 yeshivas. They're learning really well. They know uktzin inside out. However, you would think that our generation is better and greater than Rabbi Yehuda's generation. No. Rabbi Yehuda shalif masane v'asamitra. When there's no rain, he would just take off his shoe before he even started davening, and Kodesh Baruch Hu would give him rain. And we cry and scream, and nobody listens to us. There's no rain. So what's the pshat? He says, Ela Kodesh Baruch Hu liba boy. You hear this? This is murdik. Kodesh Baruch Hu wants your heart. Rachmana liba boy. Well, he cares what's in the heart, not how much you learned and what's in the heart. T'chsiv Hashem yireh lalevav. So, a lot of, if you live in Eretz Yisrael, I'm sure you heard this when you were in a taxi. I need that tibalev. They all say, you ever heard this? It's a big expression. I need that tibalev. So, l'chayr they have a taina here. But no. In order to be a Jew in your heart, you have to do a maisa. If you do one maisa, then it's all about the heart. The heart is like a bunch of zeros. If you add a 1 to it, then you have a large number. But you have to do a maisa. You can't just say, oh, I'm in my heart. I'm a Jew in my heart. Yes, it's all about what's in the heart, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows what you're thinking, what you're not thinking. But you have to do maisa also. They didn't know how to learn so well. We had yesterday, it says about Doeg that he knew all the chaseris and the yiseris, all the extra vavs in the Torah. He knew what a good kavachomer is, what a bad kavachomer is. Service amigdalim. But Amris lehav esaver shmaita. You tell me you didn't know how to learn. Elo, do they have a sokul shmaita alibaduchasa? No, you know how to learn, but you're never able to get to the bottom of it, and that the halacha should be like him. D'chsiv, soid Hashem lireyav. Ask everybody knows. I'll just ask you guys. Soid Hashem lireyav. What does it mean? Soid, the secret of Hashem is lireyav. Two options. Is it to the people that fear Hashem, or is it to Hashem's friends? The array of friends. What do you say? The first one? What do you say?
Friends is benign, no?
Soid Hashem lireyav. It's to the people that fear Him. You are right. Believe it or not, I asked it in Eretz Yisrael just 2 days ago. I thought the Israelis would for sure know. Most of them didn't know. Omer Rabami. We had yesterday, Hashem said to David, I can't kill him when he's young because he's full of Torah. Torah protects you. So, in fact, he forgot his learning. Then he was able to die at a young age. You see over here, Torah is called Musar. Once they asked the Sabim Snabotka, they said, give us some Musar shmuz. So he said over Daf Gemara. He says, this is the best Musar. We used to go on this, what was it called, with Ar Sameach, the Mentors Mission. A bunch of guys from Chicago went on the Mentors Mission. They still go. And Reb Nata, what was his last name? Reb Nata Schiller, the Rashiva over there, always used to tell us, Birevach, he was just nifter. He said, the best way to get a guy to be Miskayev to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is to learn Gemara. So that's why part of the program was in the morning, we learned Gemara with them, then we went on trips. Musar Shmuz. Ravashi Omar Nitztora. Doeg spoke Lashon Hara. What was Lashon Hara? With Noivir Kohanim, he told Shaul that Noivir Kohanim, they fed David. So it was Lashon Hara. So at the end of the day, Nitztora, he got Tzaras. Shenema Itzamto Kol Zoyna Mimeko. Chsev Hossam, Bayovel, it says that Tzmisus, Chalutin, to be separated, to be so there's two things when it comes to Mitzayra. The Cohn comes and sees the Mitzayra and he checks him out, and he puts him on the side for 7 days. Then he comes back, and then if he says, yes, this is Tzarat, so he becomes a Muchlat. The difference between a Musgar and a Muchlat is Priya and Prima. What's Priya? Priya means that you don't cut your hair, you let it grow. And Prima means you have to cut your clothing. Simon. When he died, the 3 malachim came to pay him a visit. Echad sheshikach talmudai, one made him forget his learning, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu kill him early. Ve'echad shesarv the shmasai, and one burnt his neshama. Ve'echad shepizah afar beis haknisiyos batim midrashos, and he took his ashes and spread it in the shuls and in the batim midrash. Omer Rabbi Yochanan doig v'achitoifel lo yirau zeh. You should know, it's interesting because the second we started off the shiur saying that doig and achitoifel had 400 questions in the migdal. They didn't even see each other. They both lived a very short life, 33 years and 34 years. One was, as the Gemara is going to say in a second, Doeg b'mei Shaul v'achitoifel b'mei David. Even though Shaul and David saw each other, but Doeg was more in Shaul's days, and Achitoifel was born much later. What? Doeg was
Shaul's general?
Doeg was, he worked, He was part of Shaul's people. Doeg v'Achitoifel, Achitoifel was David's yoyetz, and in a way he was his rebbe, in the beginning at least, as we'll see in a second. And Doeg was for Shaul. They didn't even have half of the years, half of 70. They didn't have half. I said this yesterday, I'll say it here. Here it is again. When the Gemara says, how long did Bilam live? The Gemara says, where was it? On top of this Amud? Yeah. Like 7 lines down from the top of the Amud, it says, how long did Bilam live? He says, maybe 33 or 34 years. So the question is, why, if he lived less than half of 70, so half of 70 is 35, so less than that is 34. What's 33? Where did he come to? Why is it 33 or 34? Just say he lived 34 years old. So, because over here in the Gemara says that Doeg and Achitoifel, one lived 33 and one lived 34, and they both lived less than 70. So that's why the Gemara on top says that we're not sure how long Bilam lived, either 33 or 34. They're both considered less than half of 70. Says the Gemara, Kol shnoisav shel Doeg loheo l'shloishim v'arba, v'shel Achitoifel l'enem l'shloishim v'shalosh. In the beginning, David called Achitoifel his Rebbe. Then he went down a little bit, became his friend. And then David called Achitoifel his Talmud. Alufi is a lashon of a Rebbe. Umiyudai means an advisor. We're together. Now tiksoi. Bebeis alikim nahalach b'ragish. Gam shloimish. B'tachti boy daf kuf zayin Amud Aleph. Oichel lachmi, eats my bread, meaning he learned Torah from me. Higdolai, okay. Says Gemara, I have to go fast over here because we have a lot of words and it's a long daf. But it's a gadata. Mamish 23 days straight of a gadata to correspond to the 23 days of Makkos. Rav, I know you love it. You love that guy. I love a gadata. But you know what? Eventually, what? Yeah, it's great. I'm just in a mood, like, just break it up. One day of lamdas or something. Don't put yourself in a situation of an assignment. The famous story how David begged HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give him an assignment. How come we don't say Elokei David? Do we ever say Elokei David? We say something similar every Shabbos. It's a bracha. We say bracha. David is in one of the brachas. No. So I'll tell you in a second. David asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu to be the 4th foot in the Merkava, the regular Revi in the Merkava. And over the Gemara tells us that Hashem didn't answer. Hashem said no. So he's asking Hashem, why do you say Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak? But in fact, it seems like from the Medrash that David HaMelech did make it to the Merkava. And that's what we say every single Shabbos, Mogein David. Al Teira, in Haftarah, Mogein David. So it's corresponding to the Merkava. Omar. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells him, Inu minsuli, batli minsisli. They went through Nisyonis, and you did it. In order to be part of the Merkava, you have to have an Nisyon. So give me an Nisyon. Shenema b'choneini Hashem v'naseini. Omar Menasinilach. Okay, fine. I'll give you an aside. Va'avidno milso b'hadach. It's like you have a race with somebody from from the NFL, so he gives you a running start. Yeah, you gave him a break. He said, "I'll give you a sign, but not like I did to the others." To the others, I didn't tell him what the sign is going to be, and that it's going to be. I'm going to tell you exactly what the sign is going to be in what area. I'm going to test you out in Arayas. So now, anytime something in Arayas comes up, you should be careful. He changed his minhag of night to day, meaning b'derech klal he had relations at night. Now he had it during the day also. Why? He thought that he'll calm his yetzer down. He won't have such taiva. However, v'nis'alma mimeno halacha. Over here, halacha is not referring to halacha and Shulchan Aruch. Rather, it's referring to a rule. He forgot the rule. It says, Eiver katan yesh b'adam. A person has a small organ. Masbir roiv. If you satiate it, you give it more, then it becomes even hungrier. Umarivai, but if you give it less, soveya, then it's satiated. So from the fact that he tried to calm his yetzer down by having relations during the day, that actually made him more toiv, more taiva. So then the famous story of Bathsheba, he took a little bit of a walk on the roof, and he saw a woman bathing on the roof. And she was very attractive. Bathsheba have a kochaifa reisha to say chalsos. The Gemara says that she was acting b'tznius. She had a cover. Nobody could see her. She had some sort of like tent, and she was shampooing her head. Also, Satan, the Satan pretended he was a little bird. So David HaMelech took out his arrow, wanted to shoot the bird. It, like you guys have weapons. You take that course. The first thing they teach you basically is you got to watch the backstop. When you shoot someone, you have to know who's behind you, who's behind them. Maybe there's a good guy behind him, right? You can't stop shoot. There, you shoot a bird. What's the backstop? The backstop was this tent. It broke the tent open. Igalia v'chazia, and then she was revealed, and he saw her. Yad vayishlach David vayidrush leisha. You want to know who she was? Vayomer haloi zois bas sheva basi Eliam eshes Uriah Chiti. She's married to Uriah Chiti. Vayishlach David malachim v'yikocha. Vatavayela vayishkav imo. So listen to the lashon here in the pasuk. So they had relations. You should know she wasn't even a nida. She just came back from the mikvah. Miskadesh b'tumasa. That's why she was shampooing her hair. So why would the Torah say she's not tummy? If she's an Eishes Ish, you don't say about an Eishes Ish, and she's not even a nida. The fact that the Torah is saying that she's not a nida means she's not an Eishes Ish. The only problem could possibly be that she might be a nida. No, she's not a nida. So how do we explain this? This is Machlokes Rashi and Tosfos. Rashi holds that her husband Uriah went to war, and the minhag was to give a get, and the get was had at night. That if he's not going to come back from the war, then retroactively they were divorced. If retroactively they're divorced, so David took her when she was already divorced. So he says, no, that's not true. It's not possible. Uriah died at that. No, he sent him to the front, and he made sure that he's going to die. So, but retroactive, is it beseder to do? No. Taisa says no. There was a real get. You give a real get. Just a couple that's in a good relationship. They say, listen, when I come back from war, we're going to get remarried. Don't worry about it. So Taisa says that's a problem because now she's miyu edeslay. They're almost like engaged. They're divorced, but they have intent to get back together. So you shouldn't have taken her then. Now, don't forget, the Gemara is going to say in a second that David knew that she was meant for him. Just he took her at the wrong time. This is already Msheshis made Bereshis. Okay. Derech Hagav, the Mesilas Yesharim says that everything in our life really is an asayin. Our whole life, every day we go through nisyonos, we all have difficulties in life, and with our children, with our marriage, and parnasa, everybody has issues, right? But HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't give us an asayin that we can't be aimed in. Anything that He gives us is something we could. But if you ask for an asayin, when you beg for one from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then it becomes dangerous. Then it might be an asayin you can't be aimed in. Not all that is the Mesilas Yesharim. The first part, that our whole life is one big nisayon. From beginning to end, you wake up, it's a nisayon. The rabbi today was talking a little bit about, I think, about the, I don't want to get out of bed, I want to eat healthy. Everything's inside. That Teishev el Beisan, she went back to her house. Says Gemara, you checked my heart, Bokato Lailo. It's Raftani Baltimtzo. Zamoisi be'averpi. What does all this mean? Omar. Ikuz moma nofal bepume. I have like a muzzle on my mouth. The man suddenly talking about himself. I'm gonna be my own critic. Omar ki hamilsa. Okay. So, yeah, the Chavetz Chaim brings the medrash. He doesn't say it's a medrash. He says Omar Rabbi Seinu, but I found it in a medrash. He said that David HaMelech was zocheh to be the fourth regel of the Merkava. Zog the Gemara. Dorash Rava, my dechsiv lam netzeach leDavid. B'Hashem chosisi. I took refuge in Hashem. Ich toimru lenavshi. Nudi harchem tzipor. Nudi means to move. Harchem is a har, is a mountain. Tzipor. That I moved the mountain. People are going to say the mountain moved from a bird. It's interesting because if you notice, we had the other Gemara. You remember you didn't Daf, right? No, not really. There was a Gemara that the Yitzhar dressed up as a deer. And David HaMelech went hunting and he saw the deer. He didn't hit the deer, and the deer kept on going into the plishtim until he got into the plishtim over there. I don't know why. So it's all about hunting and this, but also when David HaMelech, just thinking that when David HaMelech, the Yitzhar couldn't kill him, the son couldn't kill him, so he made a lot of noise. And then David HaMelech went to see what it was, and he fell down the stairs, etc. So over here also a similar thing, that the Yetzer doesn't have the right to grab you, but he has the right to trick you. He could dress up as something, he can make noise, dress up like a deer, dress up like a bird. Now you want to go after him, you shoot and you do, that's your thing. Omar David l'fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rebbeinu Shloilem, M'chayli aloi siyaven. I need a kapara on Basheva. So people shouldn't say, Har Shebochem, this great mountain, this great king, David, Tzipor Milidatu. A little bird shook him up, knocked him down. Dorish Rava. Maidachsiv, L'chol avadcha chatasi v'rabi necha sisi, L'matitzak b'dvorecha, Tizke b'shvotecha. Omer David v'nei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Gal yevidia kamach, Di baile michpei li'itzri avakayfina. Interesting. The David HaMelech tells the Rebbeinu Shloim, I could have been misgaber myself with Basheva. The reason why it wasn't misgaber, because I care about you. I don't want anybody saying that David HaMelech beat the Rebbeinu Shloim in a fight. Hashem said, you're going to fall, and I'm going to prove you wrong that I didn't fall, so I fell. A lot of times, a lot of the, in Navi, when Gedolei Olam, like Shlomo HaMelech, other, whatever it is, they sinned with a cheshbon. They had a cheshbon to the chet, and usually they were wrong. Yeah, it's a certain kind of cheshbon. We're going to see also later on, he wanted to do Avodah Zarah, David HaMelech, on purpose, so there shouldn't be a chil Hashem. Darsh Rav, Amay Dechsiv, Kanin Letzel HaNachon, U'machovi Negdi Tamid, Ruya Yosef Basheva Basi, Liam LeDavid Mesheshis Mei Breishis. Here you see, Basheva was designated to David HaMelech all the way from the beginning of creation. El Shabayla b'Machoy, but she ended up coming to him with a lot of pain and aggravation. Chintana the Birevach Shmuel, Ruya Yosef David Basheva Liam Elo Shacholo Pago. He took an unripe fig. She wasn't ready yet. Yeah, he realized that he had such a taiva for her that it wasn't normal for him to have such a taiva. He realized she was supposed to be his wife. Just what? He took her a few months early. there was a gabbai for a Rebbe who was making a chasana, and he really needed money. There was a giant pile of money on the Rebbe's table. So he waited calmly, he waited patiently until the Rebbe left the room for a minute. Left the room, he took like a little bit of the cash. So the Rebbe came back in and he said, Oi, had you just waited a few minutes, I was about to give you the whole pile. It was all yours. You didn't have to chop on your own. So, she was supposed to be his. You waited. Had you waited, it would have been perfect. You didn't have to chop. Dora Shurav, my dechsiv. Ubetzali somchu v'nesafu. Tzali is a lashon. You can learn in different ways. Tzali can be a rib, like a wife, but they want to learn that Betzali means when I was handicapped, I was limping. Somchu, everybody was happy v'nesafu when they gathered. That's why Alte Nechama, the other handicaps, they also gathered. V'lo yadati, I pretended that I don't care. Karu v'lo damu. They tore me and they weren't quiet. Says, if they rip open my flesh, I wouldn't bleed. In other words, I was so embarrassed. How come when people are embarrassed, they turn white? Because their blood is drained. So he's saying, like, my blood is all drained, I wouldn't even bleed from embarrassment. They were talking about the 4 types of Mrs. Bezdin. So they stopped in the middle and they would pretend, they would say, David. They would ask David about Eish Ish. Why? Because they were hinting to him, you're over Eish Ish. They tried to embarrass him. He answered them beautifully. A person that's over Eish Ish, Chenek. He has chelik l'olam haba. But a person who embarrasses somebody else, what you're doing now is worse than a person that's over Eish Ish. Stop bothering me. Even if I was over Eish Ish, which I wasn't, you're worse off than me. Omer Rav Yehuda, Omer Rav. Afilu b'shas chol yeshel David kim shmona esrei yonos. See, he's built differently than a regular person. He had 18 wives, and he was mekayim the mitzvahs oyna, even though he was sick and even though he wasn't chayiv. Shenemar yugati ban chasi, ascha b'cholayla mitasi, b'demosi arsi amsa. It's the shyness of like the bed was soiled. It's interesting because I remember hearing a song, like one of these choirs. And I think I know which one, I'm not going to mention. They made a song out of this pasuk, but if the pshat is like what we're saying here, it's not something you want to sing about. Gadi ban chasi, it's talking about Oina and 18 wives, it's not so gishmak. What? Yeah, I know. I just didn't want to... But I'm saying, like, that's not a song you're like singing to the children. I got to tell you, I'm very good friends with the singer over there. Okay, I'll speak to him. Maybe the guy didn't learn chelik. He doesn't know. He's going with the other pshat. This is crazy. David HaMelech wanted to do Avodah Zarah. Why? Again, he had a cheshbon, a good cheshbon for Kiddush Hashem. Shenemar v'yidavid ba'ad ha'roish asher yishtach v'sham l'elikim. Ve'in roish al Avodah Zarah. So here it's l'elihim, not elikim. Shenemar v'utzalmo reishi d'hav tov. A tzelem of good gold. V'inei l'krosoi Chushi Arki. Chushi comes. This guy by the name of Chushi. Karu Kutante Adam HaRoishoi, his clothing is ripped and he has dirt on his head. Omar Le David Yomi Melech Shekamois Avodah Zarah. What's wrong with you? They're going to say a king like you is doing Avodah Zarah. Omar Lo David HaMelech told Chushi Melech Shekamois Yargen Obnoi. You know what a Chil Hashem is? That they're saying that my son Avshalom killed me. Mutav Yavod Avodah Zarah by Yischal Shem Shomayim. So he made a cheshbon. If I do Avodah Zarah, people are going to say, you know why Avshalom killed me? Because I did Avodah Zarah. So it'll be less of a Chil Hashem. By the way, you guys probably didn't see this. I'll show you. This is Avshalom. He got caught by his hair on the branch, and the Gehenim opened up underneath him. So Zog the Gemara, Omar, my time Konasivas Yefas. Why do you marry Yefas Torah? What do you mean why? The Torah says you go to war, you see a fast you're allowed to take her. You should know better than that. You're allowed to. But look at the end of the psukim over there. Here are the psukim. Where are they? Oh, over here. That's pasuk Yud Aleph. And then it goes on to say about the Yifas and everything. It says, the marriage didn't work out. And then pasuk Yud Ches, Ben Soyer Meir, Lish Ben Soyer Meir. So he says they're all connected. How are you going to have a Ben Soyer Meir if you marry a Yifas Toyer? And what happened? David HaMelech married a Yifas Toyer. Who did he have? Who was his son from Yifas Toyer? Avshalom. You shouldn't have married a Yifas Toyer. Lish Ben Soyer Meir, Kol HaNoisi Yifas Toyer, Yishli Ben Soyer Meir. Dorash, Rabbi the Stoy, the Minberi. Lemad David Doime, L'Soicher Kuti. So the way the Kutim, they would do their mischar is a little bit different than what we used to. They would say, listen, you want this? This is $1. So you buy it. So you want this? I think you should buy this also. It's $2. This, another $1. Kids they pile up a bunch of stuff you don't even need, but it's all very cheap. So you keep on buying stuff. You know, it's on sale. Everything's on sale. Everything's cheap. So you keep on buying and buying. The dollar store. Oh, that's the dollar store's theory. Oh, gewaldig. Mom's like that. You never go out with $1. It's always $50, more than a regular store. So why is that similar to David? Because David did the same thing. David played that trick on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Could you forgive me for my shoygig? Okay, that's $1. What's the big deal? Shoygig, fine. No, could you please forgive me for the ones that I don't know about? It's not $1. Now, I need also a little bit of mechila on the Zaden. I'm usually be Ozeisim. What does that mean? I don't want the Chacham to talk about me. I'll give it to you. I don't want anybody to write it. No, I can't do that. It's already written in Navi. I can't take it back. Why? The yud that I took away from Sarai made it a hey. He's sitting and screaming. It's not fair. I used to be part of Sarah's name. So I said, you know what? I'll add it to Yeshua's name. Went from Moshe to Yeshua. So certainly, to remove a whole parsha of you and Bathsheba, I can't do that. One ice made me crazy. So what about a whole parsha? Impossible. Just real quickly, there's a real shaila. There's a shul that made a renovation, and all the people that had the front seat, now they're no longer the front because they added a bunch of, they pushed out the Aron Kodesh, let's say 20 feet, and now their seat ends up in the middle of the shul. And they went ahead and they sold the seats, whatever. So now the guy said, listen, I was always in Mizrach. I want to move towards the Aron Kodesh. So he went to the Rav, and the Rav brought a raya from this Gemara right over here. It's impossible to see it, but it's an interesting raya. He says that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu added the Yud to Hoshea, the Hey had no taina. He didn't say, I was the first one, and now I'm second. When you add, you keep your spot, and you can't have any complaints. That's what the Rav said. Zog the Gemara.
The new top floors in Israel that they're adding on.
Oh yeah, the Tamas. Well, what's the difference there? Nothing happened. You're staying. You want to be closer to the top.
You're the penthouse.
Enough Kamina, you have the same view. Nothing changed. Your view is everything's the same. He's saying, no, I'm going further away from the Rav, further away from the Drush. I don't know what. I need you to forgive me on the Besheva Zavera completely. Omar, if I also Shlomo bin Choloima b'Chochmasoi, Shlomo is going to say, you think you take a bunch of fire or whatever and hold it against your chest? Your clothes are not going to burn. If a person walks on coals, he's not going to burn the bottom of his feet. If you have relations with the Eish, not Mamash but Kimat and then Miyut, you can't come out clean. Or what? So that's it. I'm done. I don't get any oil on my bow. So Nachama, we see this idea. Yisurim are mechaper. I need you to accept upon yourself Yisurim. If you accept them, and we said then also the Rebbeinu Yonah says that Yisurim are mechaper, but you have to say it's Yisurim Shalahava. You have to remember to say that. It's very important. Because we all have Yisurim. You have to say, Yisurim Shalach, I'm accepting it with love. Keep it love. So he accepted upon himself Yisurim. David's body became Mitzayra. So you see there's three things going on there. First of all, he became a Mitzayra, so that hurt his body. That hurt his ruchnius. Sanhedrin, that hurt his intellectual part. Like he didn't have any intellectual stimulation. His friends stopped talking to him. How do you become tar with the Ezev? Here, my friends, you see also that even David HaMelech had his ups and his downs. He had 6 months of his life where nobody spoke to him. He didn't have any connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or he didn't have that Shechina that he used to have. Everybody has their downs. And how do you know it was 6 months? His total kingdom was 40 years. He had 7 years. A total of 40. However, the problem is, but Chevron wasn't 7 years. It was 7 years and 6 months. Where do those 6 months go to? Because those 6 months, he was a Mitzayr. Now, they say these 6 months weren't really when he was in Chevron. Because later on, what you have to do, the turning of the daf, I know. Sponsor the turning of the daf. It's coming. I have to finish the thing. He just threw it on there. Turning now, you want it for Nissim. Adar Global, one-stop shop for all your financial needs. Innovations will see in honor of our sons. Kalmo, who's 12, Yisrael, who's 9, for learning Sanhedrin with the rebellion. They made a siyum. They're going to make a siyum now. Crazy. Yeah, well, the 12-year-old, I don't want to say, but the 12-year-old got $1,000 from official. Official gave $1,000 for anybody who finishes Sanhedrin. The 9-year-old was not eligible, but he did mamish l'shma. Omar lefanov, Rebbeinu Shalom, Mechoili aloi siyavai. Do me a favor, forgive me on the Aver Basheva. Machal lecha, I'm Michael. I say me is the taiva of your sign of Yevaishu. Give me a sign that everybody will know. Ki ata Hashem azartani v'nichamtani. Omar loi, okay. B'chayecha eni moidia. I can't give you a sign when you're alive. Aval ani moidia b'chay shleim bincha. For when your son, in your son's lifetime, there will be a sign. The whole world will know that I forgave you. Shlomo built the Beis Hamikdash because he tried. That's it. The inauguration of the Beis Hamikdash. Finally, the day has come, and now in the Kodesh HaKadoshim we have to set it up. That is the holiest place in the Beis Hamikdash. Bring the Aron inside the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Little bit of a problem. Davku sha'arim b'zebazeh. Miraculously, they couldn't open up the door. It was stuck. Omar Esmer Abba Renano Zilinano. He said 24 shiras, nothing. Omar Sushorim Sheichem Sha'arim. He spoke about the Sha'arim. V'inasu Pischei Olam. V'yavim El Chakavoid. You should come in. HaKadosh Baruch. Mizem El Chakavoid. Hashem is Gibar. Hashem Gibar Chama. V'nema Sushorim Sheichem. Usu Pischei Olam. V'yavim Chakavoid. V'loi Nana didn't help. Oh, when did it help? Kivin Shama Hashem Elokim Al Toshev Pneim Shichecha. Zochra Lechazdei David Avdecha. When he mentioned David's name, Nana, and the doors opened up. Rabbi said he did a nice job over here. Our artist, let me see. We don't show faces when it comes to G'dolei Olam. No. So he said that, and they were able to bring in the middle of a shear. It's not appropriate. Yeah. Lazi, you joining? What happened? Too tired. Lazi doesn't daf. Miyad Nana. I mean, imagine, it happens a lot of times, you think that this guy is a terrible person, you have to make him a macha, you go after him, you write of him. A lot of people like that, you got to take care of this guy. This guy is a terrible, terrible individual, what he did. You go after him. Imagine being Shaul's family or Shimon Megari's family, just being rid of David. We got to get rid of him. He's a terrible, terrible person. He's over an Sish. It's passionate for Klal to have such a king, and all of a sudden, when you mention David's name, the Kodesh HaKadoshim opens up, and it's like the Gemara says, "Nepchu nepchu pnei soinei David kishuli dera." Their faces became black. V'yadu kol Yisrael shemachal HaKadosh Baruch Hu alayis haven. Must be a terrible feeling, to be right of a guy for 30 years straight, every day, and come up and tell Lashon Hara and get all the Rabbanim against him and this and that, and finally, after everything, you're wrong. Mama's wrong. Yechazi d'chsiv vayelech Elisha damesek. Oh, it's a new sugya. Gechazi. Gechazi is one of the simple people, not a king. What's the story? D'chsiv vayelech Elisha damesek. Elisha went all the way to Damascus. Why did he go there? He went to convince him to come back to Yiddishkeit. He didn't want to. Omar loy chazar b'cha. Do tshuva. Omar loy kach mikublani mimcha. I got this from you. I'm just imitating you. Somebody that sins and it causes other people to sin. You could do tshuva, just like Kosh Baruch Hu never gives him the opportunity. It's interesting. Here he had an opportunity. Elisha came. He said, no, but you said that I'm not going to have an opportunity, so maybe I'm not going to take the opportunity. My Avad, what did he do wrong? And this is a message not for you guys, but everybody that's listening, that if somebody's chayte umachti, somebody sins, but also causes other people to sin, and what about the opposite? You learn Torah and you cause other people to learn Torah. I tell people to put it on the status, say, we're starting Mesechus Makkos in 7 days. Come join. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain. It's a life changer. Every single day I get 30, 40 emails that say, change my life, you changed my life, you changed my life. A guy, a chassid, came over to me yesterday in Hillside. He said, I know you always hear it, but you mamish changed my life. This is for real. He said, they say the same thing. You know you always hear it, but this is for real. I said it yesterday, I'll just tell you because you're here, Kilo, like nobody else heard it. He said it changed his life because he hasn't opened up a sefer for years. And his wife was begging him, learn something. And finally he's learning. She got such chizuk and she admires him more. He said he bought a Mishnah Berurah. He didn't have a Mishnah Berurah in his house. He says, I'm learning. I have to know halachas. I have to know basic halachas. He couldn't believe how many halachas he didn't know. Just simple things like that. Anyways, you learn. You tell somebody else to learn. Unbelievable things happen. Maya avad iged amri even she'eves tola lechatas yuravam. He with the Evan She'eves is a magnet. He took Yeravam's golden calf, vehemido bin shamayim la'aretz. So this is, check this out. First of all, this is the calf, yeah? I gotta show it over here.
Scale?
I don't know. But check this out. I don't know if we have sound or not. But it's hard for me to believe that this is real, but let's say it is. Here, check this out. This guy takes a magnet, he buries it, he attaches some electric to it, as a generator, and he puts obviously a magnet in and he starts floating in midair. Now people think that he's something special. They start gathering around him. But that's basically what Gechazi did. So here, I told our artist Yoshi, I said, I'd like to do that, show how it's done here, but show how it fails. Here, the magnets fall out of the wall, and he's exposed. His trick is exposed. Okay. What?
That's what happened here.
No, that's not what happened. That was my little addition. No, people use machshel people because he did a trick. Evan She'eves told Chatas Yiravam, he put some magnets inside this golden calf and did on the whatever he did. You know they sell those little device like a ball that just stays in midair. Put a magnet here, so you can do it.
Opposite the polars.
Yeah. And people believe that's that's something special. Some people say, Shem Chagab, he took Shem Hashem and put it in the mouth of the golden calf. And the golden calf would say, Anoichi, the first two of the Aser Sadibros, Anoichi Hashem Elkecha. So it would say this, and when people heard it, they said, "Oh, this must be something special." Yechazi didn't let Rabbanan come and listen to the Torah of Elisha. He would stay by the door and wouldn't let people in. It's too small. We don't have enough room. What happened? Suddenly, Elisha's basement became too narrow? No. The point is that until then, he had Gehazi that didn't let people come in. And now that everybody's able to come in, so it wasn't large enough. Tana Rabban. So this is an important side when it comes to chinuch, when it comes to relationships with your spouse, whatever it is. You should be a little tough, but at the same time pull in. So especially with chinuch, you have to put your foot down, say no, but at the same time you mekayr, say come. Like Elisha should the Gehazi b'shtei yadayim. The problem with the Gehazi was that Elisha pushed Gehazi away with two hands. He should have pushed him away with one hand and at the same time pull him back. So there's a big Hagoyz V'Tziyunim over here. It says the famous story that was removed from the Shas. This was removed. The censor took it out, and this is the story we all know of Oisei Ish or Reb Shmuel ben Prachya, and he goes into the details over here. And the famous thing he says, Rebbe, Enea Trutois, look at her eyes. And he said, Omar Loi Rasha, Bekachata Oisek. The famous Vard, like, even if that's what you're thinking, you think your Rebbe's thinking that? Like, that's what you think, I'm being Oisek in these kind of things. Apik Arba Meo Shipuri Vishamte, the Kitzer, he was a little bit too rough. I mean, that roughness, that pushing away with two hands to Oisek Ish. Now there's a religion with billions of people, and for many years we suffered a lot from them. Millions of Yidden died because of it, because of the pushing away with two hands. To the point that a lot of our Gemaras are censored, and this story had to be taken out, and we had a lot of fear from them over the years. Now Baruch Hashem, it seems like things are kind of calm with them. Gehazi d'chsiv vayomer Naamon hoyel kach kikorayim. So what was the story of Gehazi? You had this guy Naamon, a non-Jewish general. He had tzuras. As the Gemara is going to say the whole story here, but basically he came to Elisha, and Elisha healed him, and he wanted to give Elisha a gift, and Elisha refused to take the gift. He swore he's not going to take the gift. Gehazi came and ran after him and said, no, my master took it back. He wants the gift, and he stole the money. Gehazi the Goyish general said, take these 2 loaves of silver. Where were you? I didn't go anywhere. You went and you took the silver and the clothing and the olives and the vineyards, v'tzoyin u'bakar v'avadim u'shvachos. Now, a whole list of 8 things. He didn't take that. He only took silver and clothing. He didn't take tzoyin, bakar, avadim, shvachos. They were learning the Perek Shmona Shratzim in Masechet Shabbos. Now the Gemara goes through the whole story. Naaman had tzuras. Nebuch, there was a Jewish girl who was a captive by him, and I guess she wanted to find favor by him. She should be let out or something. So she said, "Listen, I have a way to heal your tzuras. If you go to the Navi, he can heal you." So he shows up. I have an idea for you. Go into the dunk in the yard and it'll go away. What, you joking with me? I come all the way here to hear this stuff. We have better rivers than the Yarden. So his helpers, his shamashim over there, what do you care? You came this far, jump into the Jordan. Zil Nase, try it out. Here we even have a little bit of a. Here, this is Naaman. You see this or you don't see it?
Wow. New man.
Let's see. He's an ugly guy. It's supposed to go away here. Oh, now it went away. See? Yeah. Went away. So also, so he took everything he had on him, all the money he had on him, and he came to give it to Elisha as a gift. He refused to take it. So Gehazi excused himself from Elisha. So he took it all. He comes back. Oh, how did Elisha know that he did something wrong? Because all of a sudden he sees tzaras, like the tzaras that went away from Naaman, hit him in the head. Amalei, what? No, Gechazi. Amalei, Rasha. So Elisha tells Gechazi, Rasha, he gave Little Schar Shmona Shratzim. You learn Torah, you learn Perik Shmona Shratzim. So you went and you took the money now, you took your schar today. It's interesting, just remember this thing, it's kedai to know that when people do taivas in this world, I think it's the Vilna Gaon says that every person has an allotted amount of taiva in this world. You could choose to do it beheter, or you could choose to do it be'iser. When a person goes and does a terrible taiva, whatever, he goes out, he does a taiva, he's not adding to his enjoyment. He would have had that enjoyment anyway. He just decided to do it be'iser. That's what it says here. It says, well, you're taking your schar now, so you took two things of silver, big deal. You're not going to get more than what you deserve. You just paid off your schar in Shmona Shratzim. Tzaras namen tidbak b'cho b'zaracha, the olam, a terrible curse he gave him. You should have tzaras for the rest of your life, not only you, your children as well. Here they are, children of tzaras. This guy, okay. When he left him, he had a little tzaras in his head, but once he left, he was completely full of tzaras, like snow, mamish, a kiss from Hashem. We're here, mamish in the snow. It snowed yesterday, 14 inches. Today, Be'ez Hashem, will snow again in the middle of the night. Should have some fresh powder for tomorrow. How much did it snow in Deer Valley last night? Do you know? 5 or 6? I mean, you couldn't tell here, but they said it's a total of 10 and 7 or something like that. I said 14, but I don't know. I might think it's a 10 inches and 7 inches. You can't really tell. I'll go bottom. These are the 4 people, it's Gechazi and his 3 sons. And that was the push that he did with 2 hands. He was a little bit rough with him. Tanya Omer Shimon ben Elazar, Yetzer Tinoik v'isha. The Yetzer v'arayis, a child and a wife. Tia small doicha v'imim karevis. You don't want to chop your taiva away completely, and you don't want to do too much. Everything has to be with a balance. Same thing with a child, chinuch, a little bit of balance. You're stern, but at the same time you pull them close. Small doicha v'imim karevis. Torah Rabbanan shlish chalayim chala Elisha. Elisha had 3 diseases. Echad shigir b'dubim tinokis. One of them was when the children, they upset him, they made fun of him, so he said, okay, I'm going to get you with these guys. Check this out. The new. Why is it like going so slow, baby? Yeah, something's wrong. Do it again. Let's see. Oh, that's better. The children running away from these giant. But the Dubim, I think they killed 42 people, 42 kids. So Hashem punished them. Another punishment was for because he pushed them with 2 hands. And the final one, he died. Says until Avram Avinu, there was no such thing that somebody got old. People saw Avram, they said in English, it's hi Yitzchak, but it's really Avram. They thought, because they got confused between Avram. We know that people were saying that Yitzchak wasn't really Avram's son, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu made that Yitzchak should look like Avram. The problem is that Avram didn't have white hair, he didn't have wrinkles. So they started looking like each other. They were getting confused. So Avram davened that people should have zikna. But Avram rachem zikna. Shenam of Avram zokin ba bayomim. Ad Yaakov loy have a chulsha, but rachem have a chulsha. Until Yaakov Avinu, people just dropped dead in the middle of the street. They didn't like get weak. They didn't have time to say goodbye to their family. That was the first that people got sick. There was no such thing as a person getting sick and was healed. Elisha came and he asked that he should be healed. But he was healed. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day. Yishmarach for coming. Enjoy the rest of your stay here with the ski. Yishar Koyach.